What's poppin', y'all? Somehow, it just doesn't tend to pan out for Big Sean in the way that many of us believe it should. And there are two events that I'm going to talk about. The most recent one is this Red Bull Spiral Freestyle, which, shout out to Red Bull, amazing company. I don't think I've had their drink since I was like 7 years old. And that's not because I don't like it. We're not going to get into me. I just haven't had it in so long. But I do like what they do with everything, especially content-wise. And they had Absol, Big Sean, and Joey Badass spitting bars at each other together, and it was great bars spit in general. If you love hip-hop, this is our moment. This is the moment you get to really enjoy. And unfortunately for Big Sean, some people decided to hate on this. Like, somebody quoted this and said, Big Sean is up there to be considered one of the worst rappers alive. And I genuinely believe this is just one of those people that hates on Big Sean. This has been existent his entire career. Now, granted, Big Sean does have some verses where you're like, what the hell did you just say? But he's also had a lot of other great verses. For instance, like Big Sean's Control verse was a good verse, but it got outshined, and people didn't really pay attention to it. And then another individual, or an account, said, another fire Big Sean verse lost in a bigger hip-hop moment. And the bigger hip-hop moment that they're referring to is the bars that Joey Badass was taking at Ray Vaughn, the West Coast, some people of the West Coast, but letting people know that he doesn't have an issue with the West Coast. He's just taking aim at some rappers out of there, like some TDE henchmen, if you want to call it that, or up-and-comers, to give them some respect on their name. So out of Joey, Absol, and Big Sean, many people felt that Joey and Absol outperformed Big Sean. And even Mickey Fax, who's somebody that messes with Big Sean, who is also an elite rapper. Mickey Fax is an elite rapper. He's been in the game for 20 plus years. He was on a XXL freshman issue. If you know, you know, back in the days, way back, one of the first XXL freshmen ever. And he said, how does my bro Big Sean find himself in these situations? So this is an unfortunate scenario where Big Sean he's trying to heat back up. He's trying to come back out. He did drop an album, and I wouldn't say that it came and went. Like, it went where it was supposed to. I think that's a new phrase where we got to start tossing it out. It went where it was supposed to, which is Big Sean fans heard it, other people not so much. And Big Sean's, he's been quite inactive ever since Detroit. That was 2 years prior. Better Me Than You came out 2 years after that. I would need to listen to Better Me Than You again to really give my full-on thoughts on it. I don't think I gave it a full listen the first time, and that's just because it's hard to be interested in what Big Sean is doing ever since, I don't know if he's married, but he's been doing this like family thing, and he hasn't been making it the forefront of his brand. We haven't heard much from Sean in a very long time. Like, for instance, Detroit 2 that came out in 2020, that was 3 years after I Decided. And he hasn't been on tour in a long time. And the reason why I'm talking about tour is because that's the second instance where it's not looking too good for Big Sean. Because on April 14th, he announced that he would be going on tour with Russ and Sabrina Claudio. And on this photo, it looks like, okay, Big Sean is going on tour, and his fans probably think the same thing as well. Well, not really. It's Russ's tour, Into the Wild. That's the name of Russ's album. And Big Sean is an opener on Russ's tour. So for those of you that haven't heard, and this is the first time you're hearing it, you're probably like, wait, what? Hold on, what? Like Big Sean, Dark Sky Paradise Sean, 2088 Sean, Good Music Sean, the Sean that was underneath Kanye West, Finally Famous Sean, at that Sean, he's opening up for Russ? Yes, he is. And whilst if you look at their pedigree in terms of numbers, Russ for sure holds up. But just the weight within hip-hop, many people dismiss Russ. But when you look at it right now, 21 million monthly listeners for Big Sean, 12 million or so for Russ, if we're just taking that metric, but we can't really take that metric because the biggest song that's driving the monthly listeners for Big Sean is Feels, which is a Calvin Harris song that has like 1.2 billion. So he's just a feature on that with other acts. But fans of Big Sean had, and some people were clowning Big Sean, saying he put himself on the cover to make it seem like it was his tour and he wasn't opening up for somebody. I don't think that's the case. He was just posting it on his page. So people are more likely to engage with something on his page if the poster has him on it. And then you had comments on the post by Big Sean, and some saying, in what world is Russ bigger than Big Sean? In the touring world, that is the world. And then a bunch of fans were upset because Detroit wasn't a date on there. It's me scrolling through this list 11 times looking for Detroit. A bunch of people saying like, yo, where's Detroit at? And eventually Big Sean had to reply. And a bunch of people saying other dates too, because he doesn't get to choose the dates. He's coming on tour with, what's his name? Russ. And Russ commented, Big Sean actually commented on his own post and said, I plan on going everywhere and back. So if your city not on here, just know the plan is to give y'all more music and stay on the road because I need to touch every city and country around the world. I've been missing, with the globe emoji. And yeah, some people are saying Austin over Dallas. And come to find out, good news for Detroit is that he, a week ago, put out this, which said, A Night of Dark Sky Paradise, free admission with Chime. So Chime is this company that he's working with. They've got this big brand deal, but he brought a free show of Dark Sky Paradise to his hometown of Detroit. So he paid those fans off that had anything to say about him going on tour with Russ. But where I look at it is, man, you're opening, it's not just the Russ thing, which I personally don't think it's that big of a deal, but I'm someone that's tapped in with Russ's career. I know how poppin' he is as an act. I give him respect as both an artist and a performer. I've gone to a show of his, and it was a great show out, and it was a great show. But when I look at Big Sean, it's like, man, when the last time Big Sean went on tour was? It had to be before 2020. If we look at his tour history, he went on the I Decided tour. I think that was the last official headlining tour that he went on himself, and that was in 2017. Like, of course, he's done shows here and there. I don't know if 2088 ever went on tour, but that's a long time ago, man. 2017. It's been nearly 8 years that Big Sean has gone on tour or headlining, and the last time he was a supporting act on a tour was for Rihanna, Anti-World Tour, and then he was a supporting act on the J. Cole Forest Hills Drive World Tour. So when you look at this, J. Cole, Rihanna, Russ, it seems like he's not falling off, but that's a far cry away from where you were in 2015, 2016 as a supporting act. And you would think, like, yo, if some guy's coming back, he would tour his own album first, right? Or tour for his own fans first and do his own headlining tour. But that didn't happen. And I think he will eventually try to do his own, but it's not good momentum building, I'll say that. Like, now he lost the opportunity to, like, there's going to be conversation around Big Sean within hip hop for this freestyle that he did with Ab Soul in them, but it's not putting him in the greatest light. They're just saying, oh man, poor Sean, which is never good. It's not pity that he's getting, but it's like, oh man, you never want that. You want like, yo, that was cold by Sean, man. Sean wrecked that. Yo, Sean is the topic of discussion, and that just didn't happen. And if you guys remember, one of the singles that Sean dropped last year when he was leading up to promoting his album, or one of the freestyles, that got stepped on by the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. So a lot of what was happening last year for Big Sean when he was trying to get the ball moving, and I talked about that in a video, I may put that in the pinned comment last year, where he got screwed over by that whole storm and he just got stuck inside it like a house in a twister in The Wizard of Oz. So this is looking unfortunate for Big Sean. It's a bit out of his control, to be fair, but I do wonder what the decision-making was. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and understand the decision-making behind him choosing to open up on tour for Russ or anybody before he did his own tour and tap back in with the fans when the last headlining tour he did was nearly 8 years ago. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, especially Sean Don fans, my Big Sean fans out there. How have you been feeling about him in the past 4 to 5 years? I read the comments, trust me. So I'm really interested in hearing from you guys. Everyone else, if you guys could hold your horses and just let the Big Sean fans comment in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Go to helloyassine.com. Thank you for watching. Peace.